All right. So, good evening. My name is Karina Benson, and I have invited all of you to come and watch my presentation on natural hair. As you all know and can see, this is a topic I decided to choose for my Go to Work project. This topic right here has created an impact on my life in many ways, and I hope that I can help you guys embrace not only your natural hair, but also embrace who you truly are. Now, before I present, I want to make sure to say that all types of hair has beauty to it. I decided to talk about natural hair because I feel that we should embrace that part of us. But I do want to say before I begin, all hair types are beautiful because God made each and every one of us beautiful. Now, since we got that out of the way, let's begin and welcome to the Natural Curly Girl Hair Show. So, why did I decide to do this project? Well, this goes a long, long way back, but I'll try to shorten it for you guys. Growing up, I only wanted my hair to be straight. I didn't know much about the history of natural hair, or I didn't even know much about hair in general. But all I saw was that straight hair made you look proper and beautiful, which natural hair seemed different to me. But being for real, I never really looked at natural hair like that. Some of my friends would wear their hair natural, but I just didn't care. Straight hair seemed to be considered perfect, so why don't I wear it? But of course, as time flew by, thoughts went inside of my head. Am I pretty enough? Should I straighten my hair some more? Will I ever look and be as good as the other kids? And that's when I decided to try out bangs. I looked horrible. Well, looking back, I was still beautiful, but straight hair with bangs just didn't cut it for me. So one day I was looking on YouTube at girls with natural hair. All I could think of was how did they get their hair like that? And why does their hair, why do they seem so confident? So after a while, I decided to try it out. Of course, I had heat damage, but after growing and cutting to where I could see some curls, I soon found the true me. Not new me, but true me. I stood proud and taller because I knew that this was me. I tried so hard to be like everyone else with wanting to just only have straight hair instead of seeing what God has given to me. So I want to tell you all to love and enjoy what God has given to you. Don't try so hard to be like the other crowd. Be you. And when you are yourself, then that brings you a long, long way. So why did I decide to do this project? Well, to be simple, I want you guys to embrace your natural hair and don't have any form of type of jealousy for anyone else, no matter what people say or do. Be you. Okay. What is this project about? This project is basically about helping and talking to you guys about embracing your natural hair. Your curl patterns are part of what defines who you are. You are unique and beautiful. So I wanted to explain to you guys on how beautiful natural hair truly is. And you should embrace that. What will we go over? We will go over these three topics. Number one, the history of natural hair. Number two, why you should love your natural hair. And number three, how to embrace your natural hair. How can this impact you? Well, this presentation is meant to help you guys love your natural hair. This hair on top of your head is a part of you. So if you don't love that, then that's something you don't love about yourself. And it's extremely unhealthy. I also see so much criticism and people tearing down girls with natural hair. So I want to help you guys see how beautiful your hair truly is and to not let jealousy overcome you just because some people's desires are different. So here are the different types of hair. Here's 2A, 2B, 2C, 3A, 3B, 3C, 4A, 4B, and 4C. And I was gonna see if you guys wanted to type down in the comments what type of hair do you think you have.
Mm, uh-oh.
All right.
I'm looking for my chat box on my phone.
So the history of natural hair, and yep, that's Diana Ross. I love her. So products have changed. For centuries, women of color have looked and found various of items that contributed to them taking care of their natural hair. They have used products like bacon grease, kerosene, butter, sheet brushes, petroleum, which is pretty much petroleum jelly, beeswax, copper sulfate, and sulfur. Up there in the left-hand corner, there's one of Madam C.J. Walker's hair products that contain sulfur, petroleum, and so many of her other products contain coconut oil, copper sulfate, beeswax, and a little bit of violet extract to take away the foul smell. As you know, Black women's hair have been under attack for centuries, but we founded products that now all races use today. So, and one thing I love about Madam C.J. Walker, is because I want to be like, I for real want to be a business owner one day. And she helped me out a lot. Like, she helped me see that it doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, you can do whatever you want to do. So it doesn't matter what people say about you, the way people look at you, you can do whatever you want to do. So that's like, she's one of my biggest inspirations. Like, I look at her all the time and I'm like, bro, like, she makes me want to be an entrepreneur so bad. So I like looking at people like that because they actually inspire me and make me see that I have a lot of potential inside of myself. There's one girl I'm gonna admit. And yeah, the value of good hair in the 1940s. So after slavery ended, African Americans were still affected by being told that their hair is ugly, nappy, and should be kept in a wrap. So during the 40s, Black women began to get perms, bleached, and dyed their hair so it can become more straight. They even started looking at other women's hair to see if their hair was good enough. To me, this is truly sad because you still see this all over TV on how straight hair is the only hair that is beautiful, while natural hair is not. Why can't every hair be beautiful? Why does it only have to be just straight hair? Well, I can tell you all about that. Head shaving. Head shaving, or if you want to call it hair shaving, was the first step Europeans took to erase all of the culture of Africans. They knew that hair was huge for them, so they took that away. Many Europeans were really jealous of Africans' hair type and wanted to get rid of that. And they knew that it had a big impact on their culture. So they wanted to find various ways to just try to get rid of their whole entire culture. And they knew that natural hair had a big impact on them. So when they were captured, their hair was taken away from them, and they were forced to wear head wraps to protect them from lice and harsh weather. So I have a video that I'm going to show you guys. Sorry,
new
it's an
formula
ad.
enriched with 1/4 moisturizers with natural oil leaves underarms feeling healthy and protected, and you more confident and carefree. Effective protection, kind to skin.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
All right, guys.
That was good.
Thank you. All right. Hairstyles can say a lot about you. Black women would literally be able to tell if you were married, happy, depressed, rich, or anything just by how your hair looked. I can believe that because I could tell on how they are feeling from the certain ways that they would wear their hair. So I don't know about you guys, but sometimes like when I would like either go to the store or be in an organization or go to school, I would see girls, they would like look a mess some days. Like some days I would look a mess. And I could tell that they were probably in a like a very unhappy mood or something like that. Or you could tell when a woman like she's trying to get ready for a certain occasion or maybe even a wedding day or something, and you can tell that they have their hair in a certain hairstyle. So I know I can tell it, but I don't know if you guys can tell it, but I know that for generations, a lot of Black women, they could tell by the way women will wear their hair. If they were going somewhere or if they were a part of something, they could just tell just by their hair. So talking about that, depression and hygiene. So the first thing I do want to say is that during the 19th century, most African Americans hardly ever washed their hair because it wasn't really a common thing. But during the 20th century, Black women began to take better care of their natural hair. So you could literally tell if a Black woman was depressed or had horrible hygiene just through their hair. You know when girls with natural hair are having a bad hair day, and I've been there a bunch of times, but their hair was everywhere. Well, that was pretty much how it was. Hair and God. So during the 19th and 20th century, African American women believed that natural hair brought you closer to God. They looked at people like Samson, who had long hair and was strong because of what the Lord gifted him. Now, I don't believe just hair brings you closer to God, but to me, it is a gift, and I love it. To me, you can get closer to God any way it goes, but God does give us special purposes that seem like gifts to me. You know, when you open a present and you feel all happy inside, well, that is what finding my purpose does. When usually I find my purpose, but that is what happens when natural hair. When I embrace it, I feel like I'm getting this gift. Like I feel like I'm becoming happy because I'm embracing part of me. Here's another video. All right.
Betrayed and blinded, Samson's battle with the Philistines is all but over, and with it, the dreams of an Israelite homeland.
I'm weak. Stand me against something. Lord, if I am yours, remember me now. Strengthen me once more.
Your God has abandoned you, Samson.
You are the man who took away my eyes. I am glad of it, for the darkness helps me think.
Your God has deserted you and taken your strength with him.
No. I can see him more clearly than ever. He wants me to destroy you all!
It's over, Samson!
Stop him! Kill him! No!
Okay, I don't like violent scenes, but that was just to show you guys like what people saw in Samson and how a lot of people they saw how when he did have long, like very long hair, it showed his strength that God has given him. And when they cut it off, he didn't have as much strength as what he had before. But that's why I wanted to show you guys. All right. The Tignon Law. In 1786, it was illegal for African American women to show their own hair in public. It was a decree that demanded African Americans to cover their hair in knotted hairdresses and hair wraps to refrain from them getting any attention, since Caucasian women were very jealous of their own husbands having affairs with African American slaves. Well, yeah. They knew it was their hair that brought Caucasian men to wanting to make love with them, so they wanted to destroy that. So I know I have a lot of videos, but I'm about to show you guys another video. Right.
Turning off the lights, they go, ooh, wee, that's tight.
The history of black hair, our hairstory. The history behind all elaborate designs and hairstyles originated in different ethnic groups in Africa. The first known example of dreadlocks date back to ancient Egypt, where dreadlocks appeared on many artifacts. Ancient Egyptians with dreadlocks have also been recovered from archaeological sites. Socially, hair grooming played a significant part in status and identity in African tribes. It was a way to identify someone's social status based on ethnicity, social rank, age, marital status, wealth, fertility, manhood, religion, and death. Twisting, braiding, cotton or wool thread weaving, adding animal fat, or mud and clay were all techniques used to create these elaborate looks. Due to styling taking hours and sometimes days, much like today, women use this time of beautifying as a chance to socialize and form meaningful bonds with one another. In 1444, Europeans began to kidnap Africans of all social statuses and trade them on the west coast of Africa. Many wore elaborate hairstyles. Although the Europeans were first entranced with and admired the complexity of style, texture, and adornment of black hair, something had to be done to rid them of their identity to maintain control and dependency. Many slave owners shaved not only the men's hair but women's hair as well. This was considered an unspeakable crime to many tribes. In 1619, the first slaves were brought to Jamestown. After being on a ship for 3 months in unbearable conditions where hygiene, let alone hair care maintenance, couldn't be maintained, many of the enslaved Africans' hair was matted upon arrival. The enslaved Africans were no longer allowed to speak their native languages, do traditional dances, and maintain their hair in the styles that they chose. All of the African culture and grooming traditions began to disappear. Slave owners wanted to cut off the enslaved Africans' connection to their true self. They pushed their standard of beauty, fair skin, straight hair, and thin facial features. African dark skin, kinky hair, and wider facial features were deemed unattractive. Because of this, lighter skinned, straight hair slaves commanded higher prices at auction. Due to brainwashing and internalizing color consciousness, many blacks promoted the idea that dark skin and kinky hair were less attractive and worth less. The enslaved Africans were given no way to care for their hair. In the 1800s, without combs and the herbal treatments used in Africa, they were forced to use bacon grease, butter, kerosene, and sheep brushes to maintain their hair.
All right, it did say we're about to run out of time, so I was gonna see if I could just hurry up because I don't want you guys to have to log back on, like log back off and then log back on.
I
So,
think my message said this meeting no longer has a time limit.
so it said it no longer has a time limit?
Right. Uh-huh.
Okay. All right, because it does say it's just only 3 people on here. So, and usually if it's 3 people, then it can go more than 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. All right. So why you should love your natural hair. This is topic 2. It is yours, and I love that picture because I love the movie Friday. That's my favorite movie. It is yours. You should love what is a part of you, and your natural hair is yours. Do you know how many people are and were jealous and envious of what you have? Why do you think that they tried everything to take that away from you? Why do you think straight hair was pushed so much on TV, schools, organizations, etc.? People have always been jealous of what you have, and they will always try to take away, they will always try to take it away out of jealousy. Love and accept your natural hair. It is yours, so don't let the world bring you down. It is healthy. So when I used to wear my hair straight, at first, like when I was younger, it used to be all the way down to my butt. But as I got older, I would straighten it so much. Like I would continue to straighten it and straighten it until it started getting shorter and shorter and shorter. So afterwards, when I decided to go natural, I saw that it started growing faster, especially as I started maintaining my hair and doing certain things that many other people weren't really doing. So I will see a lot of growth coming in. And one of my favorite like techniques to do was do a twist out. And you have to find that like simple hairstyle that can help your hair grow, because I know certain hairstyles that I would try to wear, it would not help my hair grow. Like right now, this is bad, but I'm wearing a slick, like a slick out because I was being lazy. So usually when I wear a slick out, like my edges, they're just getting pulled back. So I have to find a way to lay my edges out. But it doesn't help with hair growth at all. But when I put my hair in like a twist out or I braid it out or something, it helps out a lot with hair growth. And that's like you really must maintain your natural hair. Because your hair, if you don't like take care of it and do whatever like you try to do to make sure your hair stays healthy and grow, it will soon start to shed and fall out, which it can be just like heat damage. What you can do, what I usually do is I will massage it with oils, but I wouldn't leave the oils in my hair because we produce natural oils. And if you put other oils on top of that, it's gonna stop your hair from growing. So what I do is before I go take a shower or before I go wash my hair and put some conditioner in it and stuff, I always put some type of oil in my hair and leave it in for about an hour. Then afterwards, I go in the shower, wash it out, and start shampooing, conditioning, do the deep conditioning, and then get out the shower, put on some leave-in conditioner. Now, what you should do is, that's why I say the twist out is so great, because what you should do, you should have a spray bottle and spray your hair with water, because our hair is naturally like a plant. So you know how a plant grows with water in it. When we put water in our hair, it will start to grow. So that's one thing I actually learned later on, because when I was younger, I would always put, I will always put, sorry about that. I will always put oils on my scalp. So that affected my hair growth tremendously, because I was always wondering why my hair really isn't growing and I'm supposed to be a natural. So when you do have natural hair, it can grow, but you have to make sure that you're taking care of it the right way. So I took away this one. It saves a lot of money. So I'm gonna give you guys an example. So say I usually spend on shampoo and conditioner about, for both of them, they will be like at least $20. For some people, it might be $30, $40, but I give it $20 for the limit. And I usually use like the same old shampoo or conditioner, or I'll maybe try to make something of my own. And leave-in conditioner, it could be about maybe $10 or less, maybe even $5. It depends on what type you get. So when you add those two up together, that's $20. Say, even if I say shampoo $20 and conditioner $20, that's $40 together. Or if you want to say shampoo and conditioner together is $20, that's just $20. And then leave-in conditioner, that's, I'll just say $10. So $20 plus $10, that's $30. Or if you want to do the $40 plus $10, that's $50. So compare that to going out each week and getting your hair straightened or getting a perm or whatever. I know some hair salons you be having to pay over hundreds of dollars. Like the one I used to go to, I would always have to pay around like $100 to $200 just to get my hair straightened. And to me, that's a lot of money wasted. Like that's a lot of money wasted. So it's nothing wrong with getting your hair straightened. But at the same time, it's nothing wrong with being natural, and it saves a lot of money. So I would consider that. So no one has hair like yours. People will always look at your hair like it is the prettiest thing ever. You have curls that shine so bright, and it's pretty fun to bounce up and down. Your shrinkage is so beautiful that it gives off beauty that is so strong and unique. Your hair is so beautiful, people always turn to get a good glance at it, or of course, want to touch it. It is so beautiful that you could wear as many hairstyles as you want when you have your beautiful natural hair. No one has hair like yours. Embrace that. It inspires others. When I would watch people on YouTube, I would see how confident they were. They would walk so proudly because they loved what was a part of them. So when you walk proudly with your natural hair, it will always inspire others to look into themselves and see how they can embrace what is a part of them. You get all of the attention. So one thing at school, and one of my friends on here, March, she knows this. So one thing at school, when I would put my hair into an afro or something, After I comb it out, it'll just turn out like an afro, unless if I put a certain type of conditioner on there and make it curl out. But especially when I wore my hair in an afro, I will always get looks. And I will always, like, people will always be like, can I touch your hair? Can I touch your hair? And to me, I don't like getting attention and like drama wise, but I do love getting attention with my hair. Like anytime someone says your hair, like your hair's so beautiful and stuff, I love that attention. Like I love it when people say that. But you get all the attention. Another example is when I was at Walgreens one time, and when I was walking with my granny, there's this man, he came up and he was like, you keep wearing your natural hair like that. It's so beautiful and stand proud with it. Pretty much like Black Power. Like he was like, your hair is beautiful. Always do that and be you. So the thing about it, when you look at things like that, it just shows that it not only gives you attention, but it encourages others to look at your natural hair and they're like, oh, like she has beautiful natural hair. I wonder what my natural hair would look like. So just look at things like that. So how to embrace your natural hair. I have, this is my last video.
Afro hair. It's the most misunderstood, fragile, and defiant hair texture. But there's something beautiful about its untamable kinks and curls. It's the only hair texture that can defy gravity, growing up instead of down. It can be soft and fluffy to the touch and is naturally voluminous. My name's Kerry. I'm a television specialist and broadcast journalist at BCU, and like many other Black women, including myself, owning your kinks and curls and Afro hair almost becomes a journey of self-love and self-discovery, and here's why. Afro hair has systematically been associated with negative stereotypes that undermine Blackness, such as nappy, unprofessional, and unkept.
What's happened that's so terrible? A catastrophe.
Look what happened to my hair. Normally it's straight. I was just walking down the hall when poof, my whole head of hair puffed up just like that.
That's a nappy-headed hose there. I'm gonna tell you that now. Man, that's some. Ooh.
I think she's such a tiny frame that this hair to me overwhelms her. Like I feel like she smells like patchouli oil.
I was at an event and talking to several white men, and I had my hair in twists, and the guy said, "Oh, your hair kind of looks like Medusa." And in my mind, I'm like, what the?
I do remember being at work, and I was about in my middle 20s, I think. And it was a Black woman who said, oh, you know, Sue, you're a really attractive woman, you know. And I think like if you didn't have this dreadlocks, you'd look even better. So, you know, if you cut it and perm it, yeah, you know, I would present well. That was shocking.
The origin of these stereotypes are better understood through Black history, and it goes without saying that the colonization of Africa from the 17th century onwards to this day has drastically affected ideals of Blackness. In the United States, African slaves were stripped of their rich heritage and elaborate native hairstyles, and over generations of brainwashing and enslavement, traditional hair information and routines were destroyed.
Previous to slavery, we had hairstyles and designs and colors and all sorts of things in Africa.
Black people who covered or wore their hair in relaxed hairstyles were considered to be more civilized in Western societies, to the extent that in 1786, Black women were required by law to cover their hair in the state of Louisiana.
There was a period where, you know, the women of the time, would think that the way black women did their hair was attracting their men, and decided that we should cover our hair and made it a shameful thing. And I think that's just come up through the ages and made us ashamed of our hair.
In 1905, Madam C.J. Walker revolutionized Afro hair care with her range of homemade hair treatments and ointments that promised to beautify kinky curls. She was the first Black female of the time to become a self-made millionaire, and her hair products led the way to re-establishing traditional hair information that generations of slavery had destroyed.
I can give you this $50,000, or I can actually show you how to make this every single day. You may know me from the group Pretty Ricky, being on stage with Omarion, B2K, and Chris Brown and all those guys, but now I make millions of dollars a year working from anywhere in the world and servicing clients from anywhere in the world. So this is a brand.
Still, Western standards of beauty remain prominent in defining Blackness, and in 1948 Britain, hot combs and chemical perms are popularly used by Black people to alleviate themselves of their kinky curls.
Their clients are all Africans. They are born with a permanent wave, but do they like it? There are women, aren't there?
Most stylists, when they are learning their trade, they do not learn about Black hair unless it is to tame it through relaxers or straightening it, right? So there's a lot of non-education out there about Black hair, which leads to ignorance. But then there's also a kind of anti-Blackness that is rooted in colonialism, you know, and slavery is obviously a part of colonialism, that sees Black people as less than or dirty, but only because it's in comparison to European ideals.
Then along came the Black Power movement in the 60s, which was all about re-establishing Black pride. And one way this was done was by rocking the natural state of kinky curly hair, the afro.
When I think about the afro, I think about beautiful, cool people who have the audacity to take up space, because that's what an afro does, right?
Black people in America in particular began to redefine the idea of them being less than, and they began to change that narrative of what beauty actually meant.
This brother here, myself, all of us were born with our hair like this, and we just wear it like this because it's natural, because the reason for it, you might say, is like a new awareness among Black people.
Hair so soft, silky, and free.
Perms, chemical, and heat straightening products are used for relaxing and straightening kinky curly hair, making Western ideals of beauty more attainable for people with this hair texture, but not without its consequences.
Contains no sodium hydroxide for much less chance of burn and irritation than leading lye-based relaxers.
I used chemicals once when I cut my hair, and it was called Jerry Curls. But there was a lot of, it was just messy. It was just like, all that, you know, that mess just flying around the place. And I did that, and I was just like, this is not for me.
To attain that straight look, my first experience was to iron my hair on an iron board with a steam iron, a towel, and foil. And that made absolutely beautiful results. But obviously, long term, that's not really very good for your hair. And then we got JD straighteners, and I'd start using that. So that's what I did to attain that look at the time.
If we have mothers or grandmothers who also understood and knew how to take care of their natural hair, then they impart that knowledge to us. But if we have mothers who didn't receive that education, or they were taught that relaxing is the best way, then they pass that down to their daughters. I didn't learn that from my mother. She relaxed my hair at 7 because she thought that's what she needed to do to like tame my curls. I had hair she didn't understand, but she didn't understand her hair either.
I feel good about using PCJ. It's mild enough for my daughter's hair and for my color-treated hair.
Today, Black people rock their hair in a number of creative and natural hairstyles. However, Western standards of beauty still remain idealistic and generally exclude naturally kinky curly hair in normative standards of beauty.
There's an online petition demanding that Beyonce and Jay-Z do something about their daughter Blue Ivy's hair Wait a minute. Wait. They're claiming that it's a mess of matted dreads, lint balls. One commentator said, quote, no child whose mom spends thousands on her hair monthly should live life looking like a sheep.
Even with the pull, you can see the new growth there.
This company might have just cured baldness.
The Alma twins come from a mixed-race family in the UK. Maria has taken after her half-Jamaican mum with dark skin and brown eyes and curly dark hair. But Lucy got her dad's fair skin, good on her, along with straight red hair and blue eyes.
You've seen it on the news and everything where black people have literally been discriminated against because of their hair. Actually, funny enough, now that you say this, I remember going to work with my big kind of afro, and my manager saying to me, oh, your hair's a bit wild today. And he was like, what happened to your other hair? And I was like, what do you mean my other hair? And he just said, yeah, like your hair that's kind of like long and straight. And he did make me feel some kind of way about my hair.
The negative stereotypes towards black hair is kind of coming from the fact that it is so unique and so hard for kind of other cultures to understand it. Like, it is something that black people hold so tightly because it's the only thing that all of us experience uniquely.
So how do these social issues relate to perceptions of kinky curly hair today? I'm heading to London, the UK's biggest tourist destination and melting pot for social diversity, where I'll be finding out the British public opinion on Afro hair in 2019.
This is Oxford Circus. Change here for Bakerloo and Central Lines.
As well as finding out the British public opinion on Afro hair, I'll be doing a hidden social experiment to see if my hair attracts more or less public attention, subjected to taming my curls to fit Western beauty standards versus styling my hair in its natural afro.
So I'm kind of excited to see if I get any different results from wearing my hair like this to this. As you can see, my hair looks completely different now, and I'm wearing it in a big fluffy fro. This is all my natural hair, and I'm really excited to see if I get any difference in public opinion whilst wearing my hair like this.
I've strapped a hidden camera onto my assistant DP, and he's going to follow behind me to capture any differences in public reactions. So, let's begin.
So I kind of feel like I've really blended in. As you guys saw, nobody really gave me looks or stared at me, and definitely not because of my hair. What do you think about my hair? First thing that comes to mind.
It's not really noticeable from the front. It's very smooth and shiny, and I haven't seen what it's like at the back.
It's neat. It seems like you've spent a lot of time just looking after it, which is quite, in my opinion, it's like a waste of time, but don't take it in a bad way, you know?
I love sex, and I love having sex on my period, but I hate having messy periods.
I definitely felt a lot more looks whilst wearing my hair in an afro versus wearing it tied back and flat. And it kind of is a reflection that people are still learning about afro hair, including myself. What do you think about afro hair?
I love it. I love afro chicks.
I can understand why people want to like straighten it or like put it in braids like I do. It's lots of hard work, but it's amazing. Like, I love yours, so yeah.
Let me know when you're ready.
All right, hold on.
Compose yourself.
All right, compose.
It's so beautiful. Like, I have curly hair, but every time I see like a girl like your hair, I'm just like, wow, that's amazing. I know it's probably a ton of upkeep and stuff, but it looks so good. Yeah.
What do you think about afro hair?
I think your hair is sexy and gorgeous. Yeah. You're beautiful.
It's clear to see that natural afro hair still grabs tons of attention in 2019, whether good or bad. And with that being said, how do people with this hair texture look after such an elaborate statement-grabbing hairstyle? I'm heading to the Bruce Grove Cosmetics Centre in London to find out how people style and look after their kinks and curls.
I absolutely love coming to the Natural Hair Store because there's so many products to choose from when it comes to styling kinky, curly and afro hair. You literally can't find half these products on the local high street, which is why these shops are so important for the natural hair community.
This brings me into the natural hair movement, which is all about redefining standards of blackness by embracing the natural defiant state of kinky curly hair.
Kentu product is more good for your natural hair, it make your hair grow and the look after your hair, make your hair soft. That's the mostly black people is at the moment is buying this product.
I would summarize the hair movement in that it's a growing movement all over the world. Started, I would say, in the 60s, but interrupted by all the relaxers and chemicals and curly perms and all of that. But we are now back on that journey because of the damage that a lot of women have seen for themselves. So now the 40-pluses are experiencing the damage, so the balding and all of that that's taken place as a result of relaxing and the damage.
So the natural hair movement, I first saw in America. I first saw it through YouTube. A lot of YouTubers around 2011 at the time were doing the big chop. That was the thing. And that's what actually inspired me to do my big chop. And I was like, I've always been told I had fine hair because I didn't know what type of texture hair I had because I'd been relaxed for so long. So I was always worried about the, you know, quote unquote nappy hair or whatever. I didn't know what hair I had. And then through that, I went natural, a lot of my friends did, and then all of a sudden I just started seeing a lot of UK women following the natural hair movement, and I love it.
Green Beauty is a natural hair guru, and since 2012, she's been creating educational, kinky curly hair content on her YouTube platform, gaining a following of over 200,000 subscribers. She uses factual research and scientific data to support her content and has significantly helped the natural hair movement grow in an online digital space.
I started my YouTube channel back when I was in graduate school. I wanted to create a place where people can go, where we can go for objective, researched content on natural hair. I find my information from medical articles, from dissertations sometimes, books. I like to gather information from researched content. So I don't really look at, blogs or other people's opinions. I try to keep it really, really formal and well-researched. So I'll read a whole book just to make a video. Sometimes a lot of people enter the natural hair world with a lot of anxiety. A lot of negativity has been put on our head throughout the centuries that we can't grow hair and, all these things to put us down so that we don't see who we are, because it's threatening. The best advice I can give someone that starts out their natural hair journey is just keep going. Keep going, because you will see something about yourself. You will learn things about yourself that you never knew and that you possibly would have never known if you didn't go through this journey of growth. It's about the next generation. It's about normalizing natural hair.
As an advocate of natural hair, I've discovered so much about public and personal perceptions regarding this matter and the subjects they affect.
If I've learned anything about kinky curly hair, it's that society has come such a long way about how it's perceived and interpreted. And it's beautiful to see that people with this hair texture are beginning to feel comfortable embracing their kinks and curls.
I think kinky curly hair is a part of you, especially if you start to understand your hair more rather than trying to see it difficult or just embrace it and think of your hair positively. It's like, yeah, it's you.
Embrace who you are, fully, from head to toe. This is you. This is how you were made. And the world looks at us and they also want it. We're trying to get away from it when they're trying to get it. So we need to reconnect with who we are.
Love it. We all have different textures. Don't wish for someone else's texture. You see a lot of that online as well. Oh, why is my hair not like this? Just find, because there's someone out there with your hair texture. So find what works for other people, implement it on yourself, try new things, and just love the hair that you're in.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that one.
Yes.
Thank you, Miss Veronica.
You're welcome.
All right. Number one, don't compare yourselves to others. When you just look at others for what they have, then you're paying little attention to what you were already blessed with. Take a look at yourself in the mirror, and this is what I do sometimes, but you should do this every day. Take a look at yourself in the mirror each day and start to name some things that you love about yourself. When you stay watching others, now will you ever have time to see the beauty of yourself? You can do any hairstyle of your choice. Look at these pictures. This isn't even the end of the other hairstyles you can do. You can pick and choose any hairstyle you want to do on your natural hair and still look so beautiful with it. Use online tools. There are so many videos you can watch now to learn about natural hair and how to basically take care of it. Technology has its bad moments, but only if you let it be bad. There are various videos that can also help you with styling your natural hair too. So one person I usually look at, it's so hard for me to say her name, but it's like Juliana Valenzi, and then the other person I look at is Jasmine Brown. And they're very, very big in the natural hair movement. So what they do on YouTube, they usually like show the girls how they do their natural hair and how their mothers and their fathers or whoever took care of them did their hair. And they will like help other girls embrace their natural hair through videos, because I see all up in the comments, people saying, okay, you know what, I'm gonna go natural the next day and stuff. So just start using your online tools and see what that does for you. You hold the power. When you go out rocking your natural hair, it shows that it shows the power you have for yourself. Many people are terrified of what you do because they are scared of the criticism and receiving hatred just for being themselves. But you've shown that no one has the power over me but God. You hold that power. You believe that this is your hair and no one else's. You stand your ground and rock out. Okay. So this is a little game. It's kind of like concentration, but I don't really know the full song of concentration. I'm gonna get off this share. But I don't really know like the full thing with concentration, but all you usually do in this game is like we all just stay on beat and we're gonna just name each hairstyle. So what I'm gonna do, for example, is be like, concentration is the game. Get on the beat or you're out of the game. And then after that, you're just gonna name different hairstyles. So I'll say Senegalese, the next person will maybe say box braids or twist out. And it just keeps going until someone gets off the beat. But this is only gonna last probably about 5 minutes. So, all right. So are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right. If you don't want to do it, it's fine. All right. Here we go. So concentration is the game. Get off the beat and you're out of the game. Topic is natural hair. Senegalese.
Box braids.
Ghana braids.
Mark, you ruined the whole game.
What's the talk?
Okay. Where was I at? Oh yeah. See, I forgot. See, okay, Miss Veronica won. That's the end of it.
I think it's just kind of delayed because when you get on the mic, it has like a little, like a half a second delay before you can come in.
It was so hard for me to like think of so many other games, and I just thought of concentration. But then
That's
like when
okay.
when I did it like with everybody else, they were kind of off beat too. So I was like, oh well.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna get back on the presentation. So I made a whole video, but I'm gonna show you guys just the hair mask video of what I do. So have to get right back off of this. All right. And sorry if everything looks dirty.
Which ingredients that I use, and in the description down below I'll tell you how much you should use. First, I use the bananas, and I have this fork that I mash it up with. Then I use the avocado. I usually get another bowl, and I cut the avocado in half and take out the seed, and I mash up the avocado. Then after that, I use my conditioner, and I get everything together so I can put it together and just mash it up all together. Then after that, I pour in my jojoba oil. I kind of say it a little bit different than others. I just say jojoba. Then after that, I get the olive oil and I mix all of that together, and there's your hair mask. And I also use this. It kind of looks messy right now because I was practicing on it earlier just to make sure everything was good. But that's everything that I use, and yep, let's get to it. So it's kind of hard for me to record and do this, so I'm going to show the end results of how I mashed up the banana and how I mashed up the avocado. So I just mashed and blended the banana, and now I'm about to do the avocado. So I just mixed all of that up. I'm gonna put those two in and put it in here. So I just finished mixing it up, and now I'm gonna show you guys how I put it on my hair before I go shampoo and wash my hair. So I have my hair in a bun, and right now it looks a mess. But we're gonna fix that with my hair mask.
Yeah, we'll skip that up.
So this is my hair after I took out my twist. And now I'm going to massage my head. So all I do, I get my hair and I'll just lean down so the circulation goes to my head really easily. And I just start